I made a post recently about moving to Denmark, and that post got a lot of attractions. People are asking questions about Denmark. How is it like? The tuition fee, the processes, what does it take, and everything. So I was kind of like, okay, I was advised to make a video to clarify some few things. And based on the research I've made and based on people I spoke with, I was able to come up with informations that I want you guys to be aware. It's not just about moving to Denmark or applying to schools in Denmark. There's some information that I believe which is vital for you guys to know. For example, for somebody who wants to move to Denmark as an international student, you have to know that, okay, if you're moving there, you don't need POF for you as a person. For one person, you don't need POF because your deposit slip is enough to apply for your visa. You don't need to show proof of funds to the embassy or anything that before you apply for your visa. That is one. Two, if you're applying to Denmark and you are a married person, you have spouse, you have dependent, you can carry them to Denmark. The thing is, you now as the main applicant, you don't need proof of funds or POF, but your dependent, your wife or your husband or your children, they need POF. That's a heads up for you guys. And one thing about Denmark is their tuition is not that cheap. Tuition is not that cheap. 8,000, 9,000, 7,000. So it's not that cheap. But if you can afford it, trust me, it's a good investment for the future. I keep saying it. When you get there, you would understand what I'm saying, that it's a good investment for the future because everything will place out well when you do the right thing. One other thing I want you guys to be aware is this. When you're applying to Denmark as an international student, if you apply to non-state university, which is private university, just know that, I'm saying this, after your studies, you cannot stay back and look for a job. You have to go back. That is number one. You cannot get residency permit if you apply to non-state university, that is private universities. Be aware, guys. Please, I'm saying this because I was on a call with somebody. I was able to explain this. Hey, this is the law because I looked into the immigration law. This law took place May 5th, so it was effective from May 5th. Those who applied for their visa before May 5th, 2025, this does not affect them. But if you know you're applying for your visa late after May, this applies to you. Don't apply to non-state university if you know you want to go to Denmark, look for a job and stay back. It's not advisable. Another one again, another clause to that thing I want to say is, if you also intend, moving to Denmark with your family and you apply to non-state universities, know that it's not possible. You can't move the family to non-state universities. These non-state universities are private universities. But if you want to move to families, apply to state universities. And I made some list here with my phone to show you guys the universities that you need to apply to if you want to stay back in Denmark. Two, if you want to carry your families to Denmark. Let's say to apply to these schools, you need to apply to these schools open admission from early December to early January each year. All right. So let's start with University of Copenhagen. Copenhagen is a big city in Denmark. So this University of Copenhagen is a state university. Once you apply to this university, you are sure of moving to Denmark with your family and also staying back and looking for a job with the residency permit and everything that you will get. Be aware, guys. The next other school is University of Southern Denmark. It's also good. I've looked into the universities. The only thing to me personally is the tuition is not cheap. I have to be very frank with you guys. It's not cheap. But trust me, like I said, it's an investment. Once you do it, you do this, you will definitely enjoy the fruit of your labor. The next other university is Roskilde University. Roskilde University, which is Roskilde University. You can look up all this university on Google. I'm just saying the name, giving you guys just tips. Or I can just look up all these universities on Google, look at their tuition fees, look at their requirements, look at what it takes to apply as an international student. The next other university is Augsburg, which is Aarhus University, Augsburg University. Next other university is Aalborg, Aalborg University. It's also what a state university, which allow you to stay and move with family. The next other one is Copenhagen Business University. One thing about Denmark that I've actually noticed is most of the big companies from the state, from the US, they all have headquarters in Copenhagen. A friend of mine who just moved from Copenhagen to Portugal, he said he lost Copenhagen. That even though he's here for a few things, for a few business trips, he's still going back to Copenhagen. So because of what he has over there, so it's a big thing for me. Then again, the Technical University of Copenhagen of Denmark, Technical University of Denmark, I mean to say, not Copenhagen, is another university again you need to look into, which is a state university. And IT University of Denmark, this is also a good option that you can actually look into. But I want you to remember one thing. The goal here is to what? Is to get into public university of Denmark. Get into the public university of Denmark, like I said. You have two options. Once you get into the public universities, you are moving with family. You are staying back after your studies and looking for a job. That's a good thing, because it will be so bad that you finally got admission into the private university. After the whole thing, you can't stay back. To me, that's like one of my professors would say, that's so it's not good. All right, so let me see. I still have some notes here I want to quickly point out. Now, this university which I've mentioned, they are my topics. All right, so still do your own research, still ask questions, still join the community. Below this video description, there is the community link with the Telegram community. Join, ask questions. If this university is on, you don't remember the names, ask. I will still drop those universities there for you guys to actually look into. These are my topics. There's still more out there. Denmark is very big. All right, so there's still more out there you can actually look into and see the one that will accept you as an international student. All right, so subscribe to the channel, support the movement. I appreciate you guys, and I also drop more updates once I have them. All right, so I have the scholarship of Slovakia coming up soon, which I want to drop. So it's applicable to everybody: BSc, masters, PhD, teachers, researchers, people who are interested in moving abroad. They can apply to this, and the thing is, it's free. It's a free scholarship, so anybody can also try it. The goal is to not to have your egg in one basket, plant your seeds in different places. So once it starts to germinate, you start reaping the reward. All right, remember, I keep saying it's an investment you're making. In time to reap it, you will enjoy it. So peace and bye, guys, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Thank you.